Hi guys, I'm Diogo. I'm 22 years old and I was born and raised in Lisbon, Portugal. Today I get to travel the world while working on my two ecom stores alongside with this channel that I've created. And I've built a life for myself that I'm fortunate enough to say that I can be whenever I want, wherever I want, and create cool stuff into the world. But life wasn't always like this. I started when I was around 16 and I failed at about seven stores before I found success in e-commerce. And now I was able to scale my own brands. And the reality is, when I think back on what made me achieve what I have right now and what made me persist with throughout so many failures, I realized there are a couple of things that make it possible. And one of the things that I did really early on, without even realizing it, was that I was that guy that questioned about like everything. If it didn't make sense for me, I wouldn't comply with it. Sometimes like a teacher would say to me to do something, and if I found it unnecessary or didn't really add anything to myself, I wouldn't do it. Not just because I wanted to go against the teacher, but because I didn't feel it was something that I would benefit from. And this mindset really made me think about everything from the first principles perspective, where I always think about, well, how can I achieve this in a more efficient and in a logical way? Not because others are doing stuff, not because everyone is telling me to do something, but because I truly believe and I truly thought for myself what are the best paths for me to achieve. And really early on, I always thought about, okay, I want to have freedom for myself. I want to design a life where I build what I want and I can travel the world. I can just make cool experiences with cool people. Because at the end of the day, when I looked at what other people were doing at the time and the jobs that other people have, I realized that everyone is stuck at a job for their whole life and they have a lot of constraints. They cannot travel to many places and they cannot travel for a long period of time. They are constrained by time. They have like 1 month of vacation. And I really didn't want that. I thought that now in this digital age, it's possible for me to work from anywhere. I can build a business. I can build something that can give me the freedom to work wherever I want. And there's a big point to make here because it's not about not working, right? I really like to work. It's more so about the what type of work you do. So the way that I got into this, which was probably the way that a lot of people get into this, was I stumbled upon a lot of YouTubers and YouTube. I learned a lot from YouTube about people doing business work, doing business online. And I was around 15 at the time, 16, 15, 16. And I thought, okay, look, I think e-commerce is a very simple business for me to start. I don't have many skills. I understood the model. I understood how I could do it. And so I just started trying, started building some stores, started just exploring the world of business. And this is around 2020, 2019, 2020. And afterwards, when I started the business, when the pandemic hit, there was an opportunity for me to start a business with some friends locally in Lisbon, which we would get normal bicycles and put an electric motor in it, and so we would transform normal bicycles into electric bicycles. And this was a business that I ran for about 2 years. But after that, around 2023, the business was not growing a lot, and I thought there were better opportunities elsewhere. And so I decided to pursue 100% of my time and the effort into ecom. And shortly after, I made it work. But the very interesting thing that happened with the business, with this bicycle business, was that although I didn't earn a lot of money, I made like a couple hundred, a couple $1,000s. The true lessons were about the business side of things. Like I learned how to operate a business. I learned all the systems. I learned marketing. I learned dealing with clients, crafting offers. And this, I believe, was very good for me to develop my skills into going into ecom and into another business because I already have some knowledge about notions about how to operate a business in a better and a more efficient way. And another important thing that I think was responsible for my success until now, it is the fact that I always knew that the model worked, right? I always knew that there were people making e-commerce work for themselves, and the model was not flawed. It worked. So I always thought, okay, mm, I am the problem. I am the person that does not have the enough skills to be able to operate an e-commerce brand. And so as a young person, when you're young, it's a very good thing about when you're young, because you realize that you're young, you don't have a lot of experience, you don't have a lot of knowledge. And for me, I was very willing to learn a lot of these skills, because I thought, okay, if I'm learning all of these skills, eventually it will pay off, right? It could not be, it could even be in something else rather than e-commerce itself. But the skills that you're learning, marketing, building offers, understanding the psychology of humans, these really are skills that you can take to any business and operate at any level. And so when I thought about this, I really deep got into the business with an open mindset, very willing to fail and learn, because always knew that someday I will be able to harvest the fruits of my labor. It could take 5, 10, 12, I don't know how many years. Eventually, at 20 years old, I was able to crack the e-commerce business, but there could be a million possibilities. So you never know when you stumble across a business. This is very important when you go into a business with a mindset of, okay, I'm gonna learn and learn and learn and never stop learning until something works out for me. So this mindset really helped me in going through all of those failures. And now I'm here, traveling the world full time while working on my projects. I have two ecom stores, and this channel is growing alongside it now that I've created this channel. And so the goal right now is to just keep building stuff that I like, that I find enjoyable, and that I think will add value to the world, and continue traveling, continue exploring new places, meeting new people, because that's the goal, right? You want to design. I really wanted to design a life where I was in control, and that's what I get to do now, which I am very fortunate for. And also drop a comment if you have any questions. I can answer them in the next video.